right, welcome to another Friday night episode of Keto Rocks Radio. I'm Jim Hobbs, and somewhere's on the screen is my carnivore co-host Brian Damage Forsythe of Kix and the band Rhino Bucket. How's it going, Brian?
Good.
Yeah. Busy week for you?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, this. Well, since we started playing again, since the Monsters of the Mountain, I mean, it's been nonstop for me. We played the last weekend. Kix had a private party. It was a wedding reception, and we've been juggling drummers because we don't. Jimmy is still recovering, so both the last two gigs were different drummers, and then this week I have Rhino Bucket, so. Going over set lists and.
But have you had a chance to take time for yourself and smoke some good meat? Have you had a chance to still do what's important, eat your meat?
Yeah, of course. It's funny because I the other day I dug out some leftover brisket that was in my freezer, and I still had it in the when I do the sous vide, I use these, what are they made out of? Silicone bags.
Mm-hmm.
And I just stored it in those bags, and I was digging through my freezer, and I went, I forgot about my brisket. So I pulled it out and reheated it. And yesterday I was it was too much to eat all at once, what was in there. So I ate some of it, and then I was just gonna make a omelet or a scramble out of the rest of it. And I needed to run to the store to get a few things. And of course, I always walk by the meat counter, and there's this huge fat ribeye staring at me. So I ended up buying that and eating that yesterday. But today I've got a pulled pork or a pork butt on the smoker.
Ooh.
I got up at 6 a.m. It wasn't even the crack of dawn yet.
Yeah, it's pitch black. It's pitch black. It's not even getting sun. It's not even coming up till after 7 now.
Yeah. It was after I got it on there. It was just starting to get light. So I got to see the sunrise.
That's awesome. That's my favorite morning. I love watching the sun come up. That's my favorite thing to see in the morning. I love sunrise and sunsets.
Yeah, me too.
Awesome. Now, have you ever smoked or barbecued a whole pig before? Have you got a whole pig? Ever done one of those before?
No. I've not. The last time I was anywhere where somebody was doing a whole pig was before I was eating meat. So I wasn't interested.
You didn't even look that direction, did you?
But I don't, even though I eat meat, putting a whole pig on there, I don't know if that might bug me. I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah, that's why I asked you. I mean, it is. I mean, a pig picking is good, but it's even the rockfish. Like I'll put like a couple weeks ago, I did the whole rockfish on the grill,
Mm-hmm.
And Peggy's like, you're not going to cut the head off so we don't have to see the face. But I'm like, I don't know. I just want to honor the fish. That's all. He's given himself for our benefit. Might as well look at him as entirety. So, but I understand that. I understand how it can bother some folks, and I get that. But man, when you cut those open, that barbecue is so good.
Oh, I bet. So. But the thing is, I want where I get my butter and my eggs over at Annie Acres. They have pigs over there, and I get meat from like out of their freezer. Like, I use the neck bones for my bone broth and all that. But if I were to put a whole pig on the smoker, I would just, I've met the pigs, the little piglets and all that.
I know.
And, it would be kind of weird.
It's like eating your pet. I get it. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I saw someone posted. Hopefully I saved it. If I did, I'll put it on the screen here for us, for the viewers to watch. But there was a comic strip where the big old turkey was on a peg leg, and he was cooking turkey, and he was eating his leg. He's like, you know what? I taste pretty good.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah, he had a peg leg, and he was eating his leg, and he's like, hey, you know what? I taste pretty good. And he was cooking behind the stove for Thanksgiving. So anyway, it's like the old joke about the great pig that this family had, and every time that some friends came over, the pig was missing a leg and had a wood peg, and he's like, what's going on with your pig? Every time I come over here, he's got a limb missing in his place with a peg. He's like, man, that pig's been such like a pet and part of our family. We just can't eat them all at one time. So anyway, for you guys out there, let's kind of talk about, we talk about keto and carnivore all the time, and we hear people talk, well, keto's not healthy for you. I have people come to me all the time, I'm sure Brian does, and anybody out there who's living a keto carnivore lifestyle and afraid that you're eating the wrong food. The fact that you put so much fats in you, they're concerned that you're going to have a heart attack, a stroke out. And I just wanted to kind of go over some things to kind of recenter us, to give the people who are on the fence about going keto carnivore the latest studies. And let me just pull this up real quick, because I think you guys will be surprised that here it is. In fact, research shows that the ketogenic diet may be as effective for weight loss as low-fat diet. But you hear Brian and I talk about, more Brian than me, talk about that ketogenic lifestyle and carnivore lifestyle is more than just about losing weight. Mm-hmm. So there was a review of 13 studies found that a very low-carb ketogenic diet was more effective for long-term weight loss. And the people who followed a keto lifestyle lost an average of 2 pounds more than the group that followed a low-fat diet. But here's the good part. The people who also were on the ketogenic lifestyle, that lifestyle led to reduction in diastolic blood pressure and triglyceride levels. And another study in 34 older adults found that those who followed a ketogenic diet for 8 weeks lost nearly 5 times as much body fat as those who followed a low-fat diet, which just proves the point that eating fat doesn't cause you to gain fat.
Well, yeah, the right fat.
Right. It'll go ahead, Brian.
I was going to add to that too.
Sure.
The thing is, when you take away the fat, fat serves a purpose in your body when you consume it. I mean, your brain is made of fat. Your what is it? Your hormones and all that stuff. It uses the fat. There's a lot of bodily processes that involve the use of fat, including energy. Burning energy. Once you get fat adapted.
Right.
And and the diets where they eliminate it, or people think you can't eat fat and they go low fat, it's just you're starving your body by doing that. So anyway, I just wanted to add that.
No, that's awesome. No, that's exactly what these studies show. The other thing it talks about that it showed was the increased ketones lowered your blood sugar levels and improved insulin sensitivity. May also play a key role in for those who may be pre-diabetic. And diabetes is characterized by changes in metabolism, high blood sugar, and impaired insulin function. But the ketogenic diet can help you lose excessive fat, which is also linked to type 2 diabetes, pre-diabetes, and metabolic syndrome. And so the cool thing was this study showed that the ketogenic diet improved insulin sensitivity by a whopping 75%. That's a huge number. Yeah. And it also found a small study in women with type 2 diabetes also found that following a ketogenic diet for 90 days significantly reduced their levels of hemoglobin A1C, which is a measure, of course, long-term blood sugar management. The other thing that happened was that in a long-term study, because people say, well, you can't live that lifestyle forever. Well, in a long-term study, they did 349 people, which they followed around. with type 2 diabetes found that those who followed the ketogenic lifestyle lost an average of 26.2 pounds over a 2-year period. And the benefit was considering the link between weight and type 2 diabetes. So all these are nothing but positive results when you truly live a keto or carnivore lifestyle. But let me be clear here. You are fooling yourself if you are still dabbing in the sugar plantation, having pasta, rice, even though you're eating, the majority of your keto carnivore food, because your body's not going to be burning the fat if it's got sugar to be trying to convert over. So you're slowing down the process, or not even able to start the process to benefit you when you start bringing those kinds of foods in. But this study literally just showed nothing but positive results for heart disease, cancer, Alzheimer's, epilepsy, Parkinson's disease, and brain injuries. It said some research suggests that diet could improve the outcomes of your dramatic brain injuries. And, hearing what Brian just said about fat in your brains, that very well could be the correlation. So
yeah, your brain is fat and cholesterol. And those are the two things that everybody's always trying to squash down, trying to stop the cholesterol and stop the fat. And it's just like you're starving your brain. Your brain's going to shrivel up.
Now, Brian, you're going to be able to give more insight on this than I'll be able to, but I have so many people who've gone to the doctors, have had, problems, have had heart attacks early on. And of course, they're put on the heart diet, which is almost like a vegetarian type diet. And I have a good friend. He just can't stand fat. Like butter totally freaks him out. He called me up the other day and he said, man, he goes, Hobbs, you just eat butter by itself? And I go, yeah. He goes, you're kidding me. How do you do that? I go, it's very simple. I just take the knife, cut off a slot, put it in my mouth. I put it in my coffee in the morning. He goes, you put butter in your coffee? I go, absolutely, every morning. He goes, man, I just can't do it. I don't know if it's a texture thing or just in my mind that I just can't get over fat. It grosses me out. And,
yeah, a lot of people feel that way. But the thing with butter, I mean, you can put it in stuff and then, you can disguise it. Like the coffee thing, it's like, it freaks people out when I tell them that, but it's like, what's the difference between that and cream? Like if you blend it into the coffee, it's like cream. And like most of the people that say, oh, that's weird, they put milk in their coffee. So like
they don't understand. Well, yeah, that's just the liquid form of butter. Basically, you're the precursor to butter.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, people, it is weird. And then let's go to your putting salt in your coffee. I do that all the time now too, putting salt in my coffee. Or your keto friendly chocolate chip cookies. That's definitely a good addition. It's the salt. But people think that's weird, putting salt in the coffee.
Yeah, well, actually, I remember hearing about the salt in the coffee like way back, probably when I don't remember when I first heard that, where you put a pinch of salt in, it's supposed to take the bitterness out.
Right.
And I just never paid attention to it. But now it's like if I don't put salt in it, it's like I miss it. It does add something, or it just smooths it out somehow.
So my question for you, Brian, back when you lived the lifestyle where you did not eat meat for all those years, when you started to transition into a keto lifestyle before you went carnivore, but that transition, how were you eating foods that were probably not keto friendly when you were in that stage of not eating meat or on a keto lifestyle? I mean, were you eating vegetables, or because of your gut issues, you weren't even eating vegetables that much back then?
No, I was eating vegetables. The thing is, I've always eaten pretty healthy. Like I'm not a junk food person. I don't eat frozen dinners or any of that junk. The thing that I ate that was bad was sugar. I was I was addicted to sweets. And I ate all the regular, bread and all that stuff. So just eliminating that pretty much, I mean, that's really what I did. I just eliminated all that stuff, and the rest of it, I was already kind of eating. And the thing was, back then I ate fish for my protein, but I had like my normal meal would be like a spinach salad with everything that you put in a salad, and then fish on top. But I'd always make my own dressing. I didn't buy store-bought dressings even back then. I always made my own stuff. But yeah, those spinach salads were killing me. I didn't know it all that time. I was like, when I went keto, I'm like, okay, I feel better, but because I wasn't eating the sugar, but
Right.
God, I was still like just in misery all the time. And then once I stopped those, and then I found out later, like now I can eat some vegetables if they're cooked. Like I can't eat raw stuff because it just doesn't work for me. And it depends on the vegetable too. I mean, there's some stuff that I used to love Brussels sprouts, but I cannot eat those now. And it's a bummer, but I know. And it's crazy because, a lot of people, experience adverse effects of different foods. And it's weird because like a vegetable like that, it's so easy to say, oh, I'm not going to eat that. That's going to kill me.
Right.
But then turn around and eat a piece of cake, which will also kill me. But it tastes so good. Sometimes you just forget about it. It's
Right.
like, oh, I don't care. But it's weird how, it's easy with one type of food, but the other type of food, you just give into it a lot easier too.
Yeah. Well, human mind will justify anything if it
Yeah.
wants it strong enough. And so
Man,
that's
that piece of carrot cake I had for my birthday, I gotta remember how bad I felt the next time I think I can eat a piece of carrot cake.
you haven't shared that part. So you didn't do well after you had the slice of carrot cake. It looked like it looked delicious.
Oh, it was an excellent carrot cake. Uh when I don't know if I told this story, but when I bought this house, I flew here. I was flying home from Florida from a Kix gig, and I had a stopover in Nashville, and it was for my closing. So I had like a 4-hour window, and I went and did the closing. They gave me my house keys, so I was able to come here. It was the first time I came here by myself and walked in. It was like, this is my house now. And there was a diner. There's still there in Hendersonville, and I went there for lunch. And they had carrot cake, and I mean, it was huge. It was one of those 4-layer ones, and so I got a piece of carrot cake to celebrate the closing of my house. And I remember I brought it back here. I didn't have any furniture, and I stood here in the kitchen at the island, just wolfing down this carrot cake, and I always remembered how good it was. So I mentioned it to Shannon, and she went and got me a slice for my birthday. So we had gone out to dinner, and then when we came back, I had that piece of carrot cake in the fridge. So I ate the thing, and I didn't even think I was going to get through the whole thing because it was a big slice.
Right.
But it was so good. I ate the whole thing.
Now, this is after eating. Now, how big of a steak did you eat prior to that? Because you had a big steak too, didn't you?
A 30-ounce tomahawk. Yeah. So
it's your birthday.
So I ate that thing, and I'm like, oh man, I was like so full. And then it was time. And when it was time for bed, I was still full. I mean, my stomach was bloated. And then I laid down to go to sleep, and I was just uncomfortable. I was tossing and turning. And then I started feeling the acid reflux and all that stuff, and the heartburn. And I woke up in the middle of the night with that, the stuff coming up from your stomach. I'm like, I had to get up and I'm like coughing, and I ended up having to prop my pillows up and sleep sitting up just so that stuff wouldn't come up. And I didn't get any sleep that night. I woke up the next day, my face was all puffed up, and I felt horrible. So I just have to remember that next time I think I can eat a piece of carrot cake and get away with it.
Yeah, I need to keep that in my data bank as well, because Peggy makes cream spinach, which is just so good. It's like one of my favorite meals. And she made it this past week, and gosh, I mean, I literally could just eat it until I just popped. I mean, it's just like I can't just get enough of it. It's just that good. But I have it. Everything in it's good for you. It's totally keto friendly, except that it seems to cause me to be bloated. Like at the high end of my gut, all of a sudden I just feel like there's a brick there, and I don't do well. But the same thing when I eat stuff that I shouldn't, or I overeat stuff that I'm allowed to. But when I overdo it, I just don't know why I do that, because yeah, I feel good for those 10 seconds that I'm devouring it. But for the rest of the next 24 to 36, 48 hours, I'm just feeling terrible. I'm feeling bloated. I'm feeling inflamed. And the question is, why am I doing that to myself? And, I think that's kind of what I wanted to go over today, is these foods that Peggy and I over the last 20 years have known so many people who've talked about going keto, or they're saying, oh yeah, I'm going keto. But then they turn around and go, yeah, I stopped by the smoothie shop and got myself a smoothie. And you're like, or I've been eating lots of yogurt, just regular yogurt. And we're like, you do know yogurt's not on. Yeah, but it's healthy for you. So what I'd like to talk about today is foods that have been told to us that are healthy for us that really are not. And so here's some of the foods, just to get, for those who are looking to go keto carnivore, here's some foods that you definitely want to eliminate from your diet and your lifestyle. Sodas, fruit juice, smoothies, cake, ice cream cake, candies. Eliminate all those. Now here's another one I hear people, oh, but I can have rice. Like, no wheat-based products, no rice, no pasta, no cereal, because that's the other thing that people, you're for people who are starting out trying to do a keto lifestyle, I think you're taking everything that's been programmed into you from doctors or from different diets that you may have tried in the past. Like, of course, yogurt seems as healthy. Pasta seems to be, brown rice seems to be healthy. Fruits and vegetables. Go ahead, Brian.
I was going to say, it depends on the yogurt. It depends if it's, full fat plain, or Greek. Yeah. The full fat plain Greek yogurt. Or if you make your own, you can make your own yogurt too. And
we used to make
most yogurts are at the store, like standard yogurt is low fat and it's got sugar in it. So
yeah, so we literally we have yogurt, but we have the actually we get the Greek yogurt at Costco. They sell it in a big container, and it's only got 7 grams of 7 grams of carbohydrates per serving. But the reality of it is, Greek yogurt, you literally can pour that stuff off because it's processed in itself. The culture, that's why we used to make our own and keep it and let it do its thing, and we would grow. I guess you call it grow. Let the bacteria do whatever it does. And we used to make our own yogurt. But people, I mean, so many people we've met over the years telling us, oh yeah, I'm going keto, but yet they're turning around and going, yeah, but I've been eating a lot of yogurt to make sure. And we're like, no, that's not keto. Now, but you have to really look out for the aisles to find the Greek yogurt, because 99% of the yogurts in that section is going to be sugar or no fat, low fat, or sugar and added sugar.
And that's the thing with the plain Greek yogurt, the full fat, it's usually in a bigger container because they don't make the single serving size in that at all. You will not find, at least I've never found it.
Yeah, I haven't found that either. It's always in a bigger container. Correct. I agree
Yeah.
with you. You know, the other thing is hard for people to change over in their mindset is fruits. Like, you know, people go, oh, well, you know, I can have an orange juice is good for me. Like, no, orange juice is not good for you.
You might as well drink a Coke.
Yeah, you're just pouring sugar, and you know, it sounds like it should be. And look, I was one of those people who grew up that my mom said orange juice, grapefruit juice, and milk at your breakfast for in the mornings. So I watched my dad and me drink orange juice with the pulp in it, and you're thinking, okay, that's good. And then later on, I got older, they had the whatever the guy's name was, Jack LaMaine or whatever, who did it, the fruit juicer guy who had the, you know, then I went on a juice diet and go, oh, this is great. You know, I'm juicing broccoli and oranges and bananas and everything. And I felt I had full of energy. I will say that much.
Yeah.
But all I am is just hyped up on sugar because, you know,
temporary energy. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. The genetic modified foods that are out there these days are so grown and they're so full of sugar. They're sugar bombs. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a plum, an apple, an orange. It doesn't matter what it is. It's a sugar bomb.
Well, and then, you know, when you juice it, you're taking all the fiber out. So you're just dumping that directly into your liver and your pancreas. And, you know, it's just like, just pure sugar syrup or whatever.
Yeah, you might as well be shooting yourself up with just pure sugar, liquid sugar.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing, because it's going right into your gut, and your organs are going, what is this? Because you're probably taking what a human used to do 100 years ago, would consume sugar in a year. You're probably taking care of that in one sitting by just.
Well, and that's the thing too, when you're juicing, like if you think, you know, like somebody order a glass of orange juice at a restaurant, a glass of orange juice is probably, you know, 6 oranges in there, and it's just the sugar part of it. So it's like, you don't, like, people don't realize what they're actually consuming, you know?
Right. And then another thing that's hard for people to eliminate or get away from is peas, kidney beans, lentils, chickpeas, because they're so used. And the other huge one is potatoes and sweet potatoes. And people go, oh, but they're healthy for you. And you're like, no, they're really not. They're a starch.
They're just space fillers. But well, that's the other thing with beans. It's like most of those beans, if you don't cook them, they're actually poisonous. So that should tell you something right there.
Yeah.
If the thing in its natural form is poisonous, why would you even want to eat it, you know?
Right. And then the other thing that's dangerous for people to do is the sugar-free diet foods that are out there on the shelves. Those things are nothing but chemicals and are man-made products causing you just to get your fix. But the reality of this, they're not healthy for you whatsoever. So, well, talking about health, we have our man Brian Schenker from the MeatTribe YouTube channel joining in with us. So, Brian, we're going to just pause and let you go ahead and give our viewers the meat deals of the week.
All right, sounds good. How's everybody doing?
I'm doing good, but I know you're hanging in there by a thread. So,
yeah, I'm feeling better. If I'm able to get a nap today, that's probably going to help me a lot, since I've been up since 4:40 this morning. But in any case, so yeah, let's get to the deals. The first deal is Food Lion. I was going to stick to all steaks this week for our segment here, but Aldi had a bunch of stuff, some roasts, so I figured I'd throw those in because Aldi doesn't typically have a lot of sales going on. But first, Food Lion, their deal runs through November 2nd. They've got choice grade bone-in T-bone steaks for $6.99 a pound. And Aldi, they've got 3 deals. They all run through November 2nd. They're all choice grade roasts. They've got an eye of round roast for $5.49 a pound, sirloin tip roast for $5.49 a pound, and some bottom round roast for $4.99 a pound. So if roasting's your thing, head on out to Aldi this week. Harris Teeter, they've got so they've been alternating between their New York strips one week and porterhouse / T-bone steaks the next week. So we're back to the porterhouse. They've got their deals are running through November 2nd as well. Rancher grade bone in, obviously porterhouse and T-bone steaks, small pack for $8.49 a pound, and the value pack for $7.99 a pound. And they also have a boneless grass-fed ribeye steak, and it's prepackaged. Its brand is Strauss, so it's prepackaged, and it's $9.99 per package. I haven't had any of those yet. I don't know if Jim, if you've ever picked up some of those Strauss grass-feds from Harris Teeter yet.
I have not, but I have picked up some of the ones from Aldi's, the ones that are prepackaged.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. You know what I don't like about the prepackaged ones? They have them that package. You're not really able to see the marbling, because I like going through my meats and finding the ones that I think have the great marbling. And the prepackaged ones, they usually have them covered up or have some kind of juice put in there, the blood, and you're just not able to see it clearly.
Yeah, I get you. I've seen that too. And then so the last deal, Kroger, Brian Kroger's got some choice grade ribeyes, boneless ribeyes on sale. They're a little bit expensive though, $13.99 per pound.
Wow, that's cheaper than normal. It's usually $16.99 is average.
Oh, okay. Then that's not too bad. A couple of dollars off, $3 off per pound. So not much going on in the meat world this week so far, at least. Maybe
well, I'm happy about the T-bones at Food Line for $6.99. You did say that, right? That's a good deal. And you say they will cut the steak to your size. So I'm definitely going to go grab some of those then.
All right, let me know how those go. I don't think I've bought anything from Food Lion yet. I've done Weiss, Giant, Harris Teeter, Aldi. Kroger's not near me, so I haven't tried them. Safeway, I buy stuff from Safeway. And Giant Eagle, I don't think I've tried any of their stuff, even though I'm reporting on them on a weekly basis too.
Well, we got Thanksgiving coming up in about 3 or 4 weeks. And so typically your Giant and other stores, I know Kroger does the same thing. They seem to be on the same schedule. Your prime ribs usually go on sale at a ridiculously low price. At least they have in the past. Who knows what they'll be this year, because it's just that type of year. But hopefully they'll be half price. I'll have to make some room in my freezer to stock up on prime rib for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I'll be keeping my eye out for the prime rib as well. And I haven't seen, so I had picked up a couple of them from Giant when they were on sale, earlier in the year. They were bone in standing rib roast, prime rib roast, and I haven't seen them on sale since then. So
they usually put them on sale right at Thanksgiving. They'll do it again at Christmas. I mean, so those, and then New Year. So they'll from here on out, they usually run them pretty consistently. At least they have in the past. But
yeah, I've got one down in my freezer from last year that I still haven't dealt with.
But I think I'm empty. I don't think I have any more prime ribs or rib roast in the freezer. So I have to restock. I've been waiting for the sales to come back so I can restock them. I can't pay $60 when I know I can get it for $30. So I'll just wait. I'll just buy my time. So
yeah, I don't blame you. I'm the same way. I'm only buying stuff when it's on sale at this point.
The great thing about Giant, talking about Giant, not giving them a plug or anything, but the one thing they do stay on top of their meats, and they're always putting manager specials on their packages. I don't really see that happen at all at Walmart. I don't see their meats. I don't think I've ever seen them reduced, but Food Line and Giant does a really good job of lowering those prices on those meats.
I've seen manager specials, like you were just saying, both those stores, but also Safeway. Safeway does the manager specials. I haven't noticed them at Weiss though. And then, I'm not even reporting on Wegmans, because Wegmans, the stuff I don't shop there very often, but it never seems like it's really on sale at a price that's comparable to what I'm finding at other stores.
Yeah, I like Wegmans, but they're a little bit further out for me to go shop there. So I just don't. I mean, there's two of them probably about 45 minutes away from me, but I like Harris Teeter's and Giant and Food Lion. Harris Teeter, of course, is my go-to.
Yeah, Harris Teeter has really been giving us good deals on those steaks.
Awesome.
Yeah, I always end up at the Wegmans in Frederick when I'm in town.
You were just in town, weren't you?
Yes, this past weekend.
Oh yeah, because you were at the Thurmont Country. Is it Thurmont Country Kitchen or Thurmont Kitchen?
Country Kitchen, yeah.
Country Kitchen. Okay. Yeah, somebody's got to give that guy an education on what medium rare is.
Yeah, well, it was the special, so
Yeah.
That's usually it's usually iffy when it's a special because I don't know. At least in those smaller places like that.
Well, Brian, did you go find your, I know we talked earlier today. Did you go stop by and see if you could get bone broth?
I did. I just bought, geez, what was the brand? I don't even remember. There's a brand out there called, I think, Kettle Fire that does bone broth.
Kettle, I think it's Kettle and Fire or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I didn't buy that one because it was like with the normal size of a broth, is the container is like this, and those Kettle and Fire they're smaller, so they're probably better for you. But there was another brand that looked pretty good that was it was on sale for like just under $5, so I ended up getting that, drinking some of that. Well,
drink as much as you can, and hopefully you start to you feel better later on. Get that nap that you so deservedly need, and then I know you got a function to attend tomorrow. So,
yep.
Hope you're able to do that. Well, thanks for coming on. If anybody wants to check out Brian's channel, just go to MeatTribe, just like it's spelled behind him, and follow his channel throughout the week for more updates and deals. So, Brian, thanks a lot. We'll see you next Friday.
Sounds good. Take care, guys.
All right, we'll see you. All right, well, you gonna run out and get yourself some of those ribeyes from Kroger for $13.99 a pound, Brian?
It's crazy because I was just there yesterday, but I don't know, maybe. But I actually don't have a car this week. My car's in the shop again.
Oh no, what's wrong with it this time?
Well,
oh no,
I'm having the transmission rebuilt.
Wow. Wow. Well, I'm glad you got gigs coming up, because that's not a cheap fix. So,
well, yeah, I know that car. I mean, it's been a good car. It's just a couple things. I had the valve job done earlier this year, and then all of a sudden the transmission starts. It's not slipping. It was like lurching into gear. It was like it would rev really high, and then it would jump into gear. So it was getting stuck in first, and then it felt like it was going right from first into third, like it was skipping over second. And it was like, man, and it started doing that when I on the way to and from the Rhino Bucket rehearsals last week. And so I thought, no, this isn't good. I don't want to keep driving it like this. So I went and had it checked out, and sure enough, they said, was it solenoid or something? There's something in the transmission that makes it shift, and it had gone out, so it wasn't shifting right. And then as a result of that, it did some damage in there. So because it was revving so high and then slamming into gear. So it's expensive, but it's less expensive than if they would have gone to like a salvage yard and found a used one and put it in, and then I would have had somebody else's problems. Right. So this way it's a brand new transmission. And then, at first I'm like, oh man, but then I thought, I've got this Rhino Bucket gig this weekend that just came out of the blue. And it just so happens, and I'm actually making a little bit more than what the transmission's going to cost me. So it's like,
all right. So thank you, Universe, for providing what I need when I need it.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Well, I'm glad that's working out for you. In the meantime, you're just trapped there at the house with no car, unless you still got your rental car from last
No,
week.
Shannon's here. So her
Okay.
car's here now.
Okay. So you're not stranded at home.
No.
Good. Good. Well, before we went to the meat deals of the week, we were talking about different foods to kind of stay away from. Another food that people just seem to have a hard time to get away from is the vegetable oils.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, I know.
processed vegetable oils.
It's been pounded into everybody's head that that's the healthy alternative, and it's like, no, that's the unhealthy alternative. It's the worst. I mean, that's the most, not the most, but one of the more poisonous foods, if you can call it that, that you can use.
Let's just tell it what it is. It's a toxin that you're putting in your body that you've been programmed to use. That you've been made to believe that is a healthy alternative. Then the liquid gold that you get from draining your bacon that you cook. Right.
And the long-term effects of that are horrendous. And, you don't realize it until 20 years after you've been using it, and all of a sudden all kinds of stuff is going wrong in your body. I mean, it's highly inflammatory, just not good for you at all. I mean, that's the one ingredient that if a food has it in it, I will just not eat it. Or, if I'm buying something, I look on the ingredients list. It's like, nope. I mean, that's why I make my own salad dressings and all that, because not that I eat salad, but I did. Because it's in everything. It's in all. That's what salad dressing is. It's vegetable oil and
cottonseed oil. You cannot pick up. That's the other thing. I don't care if you pick up nuts or pick up, or like you said, the salad dressings, but you pick up anything. It's almost always coated in a vegetable oil, or oil or a seed oil, and you're just like, you got to ask yourself, why do they do that? And the reality of it is, you're going to pay a price for digesting that food that you've been told is good for you. And the reality of it is, the results are going to show you that it's not good for you. So just try to stay away from those foods. And you're probably going, well, what the heck's there left to eat? Well, this is the good part. This is the good part. And for some of you who are like, I just can't get over red meat, eat it. It's okay. Steak, ham, it's okay. Eat it. Sausage, bacon, chicken, it's okay. Even turkey, have some. And then you got your salmon, your tuna, your trout, your mackerel, your rockfish. And of course, the best food of all that is given to us is eggs. Eggs, butter and cream, especially grass-fed butter and grass-fed heavy cream. Unprocessed cheeses like cheddar, goat, cream, blue, or mozzarella. And then you can have some nuts, almonds, flaxseed, pumpkin seeds, chia seeds, walnuts, not peanuts. I'm talking that as a message to myself. Peanuts try to stay away from those.
It's a bean.
There you go. That's the way you got to look at it. It's not a nut, it's a bean. So I think if you can just reprogram yourself and just start off by just trying to eliminate those foods from your diet or from your lifestyle, and start incorporating some of the other food that you've been told has been bad. I mean, there's nothing better than eggs and cheese, in my opinion. Eggs, cheese, and some type of meat. That's a home run every time.
I love eggs, especially duck eggs.
Your duck eggs, you still able to pick those up now, or they stop, or where are we in that window?
Well, it's weird because the farm where I get my stuff, they decided to stop doing the egg thing. And then, so I just sort of gave up on it. And then I found I don't know if I mentioned it before, but there's this little bakery over by our Kroger, like it's like a healthy bakery.
Okay.
I mean, it's healthier than a normal bakery, but
okay.
It's still a bakery. And they just they also sell eggs, and they have a little refrigerated section. And I just happened to be in there one day, and the lady was talking about duck eggs, and she was talking about someone that dropped off some duck eggs, and I don't know, there was this conversation going on, and I overheard it, and I'm like, you have duck eggs? And she goes, oh yeah. And she gave me a whole dozen duck eggs. She goes, well, here, just take these and try them. If you like it, you can come back and just ask me. And so I ended up going back there and getting them one more time. And it's like an under the table thing. I pay cash because they can't run it through the register because I don't know. It's kind of an under the table deal.
Okay.
So it's like a drug deal.
Hey, Duck Goose eggs for Brian. Yes, here's the 20. Okay, I'll be right back, sir.
So I got them from there, and as soon as I got the dozen that I actually bought from there, I get a text from the lady at the farm, and she goes, oh, our ducks are laying again. Are you interested in the duck eggs? And I go, yeah. So anyway, I'm getting them from there again too. So I got two sources.
Awesome. That's awesome. But I would stay away from the bakery because that could be it could tempt you.
I could, but
it's not going to.
Yeah, I'm not gonna even go there.
Awesome. Well, where's that? Yeah, you said you're playing this week in Santa Cruz. Rhino Bucket's playing in Santa Cruz.
Yeah, it's another private party in Santa Cruz. It's at a backyard party, and we're being paid extremely well. It was like I couldn't turn it down. And they're paying flights, they're paying hotels. I mean, everything's covered.
Wow. Well, good for you. Are you going out there? Going out Friday, you said? Tonight?
Yeah, flying. Today? Well, yeah, it'll be tonight. Yeah, late. I'm flying out late, and then we play on Saturday, and then I fly back home early Sunday. So
now, where's your next?
Quick in and out.
When's your next Kix gig?
It's
the next one.
Not the following week. The following week is I'm actually going to. This friend of mine is having a birthday, his 50th birthday, and he's flying to Las Vegas to see Blackberry Smoke.
Oh, there you go. You're representing it.
And he invited me, and he's paying my flights out there. So
wow.
I'm flying out to hook up with him. We're going to go to Blackberry Smoke, and then the week after I have a Kix gig, and what is that one? That's in Pittsburgh. So
okay. Well,
and I think that's going to be drummer number 3 for that gig.
Real. How long have you guys? Do you know when Jimmy will be coming back? I mean, I know he's doing better, but no idea when he can return.
Nah, because he's doing his rehab. So he goes in I think 3 days a week to do the rehab. But at some point they're gonna let him know about when he'll be able to return. But he is doing way better. So
good for him.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, it's that time of the evening where we get a chance to share people a nugget that can help improve your health. So, Brian, what would you tell people to do?
I would say eat your meat.
There you go. I will second that, and we'll see everybody next Friday. Go ahead, Brian. You got something else you want to add to that?
I was going to say, unless you're a vegan, then good luck.
We wish you well. Anyway, we'll see everybody next Friday. Stay well, stay safe, and stay out of that hospital.
Yeah.
We'll see you.